If you're still guessing on what to offer a seller, you're leaving money on the table. Now, I'll show you this simple formula that instantly tells you if a real estate deal is worth it or if you should walk away. What's going on, everyone? I'm Bettina. I've been in the real estate business for a decade, built and scaled multiple real estate investments. If you want to close your first wholesale deal or maybe start over without credit, without a lot of money, or without renovating a single house, then keep watching. And today I'm going to show you my simple strategy for analyzing an investment property using what I call the 4-box MAO method. Now, it's nothing complicated. It's just the exact way I visualize a deal on paper so I can decide, is this a good deal? Should I walk away? Or what price actually makes sense. Now, this is the analysis I used when I first started out. Literally a notebook and a calculator, and it helped me lock my first deal in as a mom with not a lot of money, no license, and no experience. I'm gonna walk you through this step by step, and by the time you're done, you're gonna be able to run numbers on any deal the right way. Now, before we jump in, I also have a free real estate investor beginner's course that pairs perfectly with this video. The link is below, but I want you to watch this first. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I try to reply to as many as possible. And if you find this video helpful, please hit the like button. This is a brand new channel. It helps more beginners find real estate content that actually makes sense. All right, let's analyze a deal. So in this video, I'm just gonna share my screen here on my iPad. Now, this is something that you can do on your own. I don't think I've seen anybody do this, to be honest. This is just something that helps me visually. If you're a visual learner, then this will definitely be very amazing for you. So I have my box up here and I put in 4 different sections, okay? Now, let's start with the first box. So the ARV top left corner, we're gonna do those, ARV. Okay, so the ARV is what the property will be worth after it's fully repaired and updated. So let's say, for example, the deal today, okay, we're just gonna use just easy numbers to make sense for you. Now, we're analyzing a property that fixed up would be worth a total of $200,000. Now, don't worry, your area, your market might be cheaper, it might be more expensive, totally fine. The MAO formula works no matter what. And the key is to pull accurate comps. Same bed and bath, similar square footage, similar neighborhood, sold within the last 3 to 6 months. Make sure to write those down. If you don't understand what that means, make sure to write those down. Now, once you've looked at the comps, you write ARV 200,000, and that's the entire first box. Now we move up to the top right box. Now this one is for repairs and buyer costs. Okay, so we're just gonna do repairs and buyer's costs. Now, here's where a lot of people that are just starting mess up all the time. It's okay, I've been there too. Now, a lot of times you don't have an idea of what repair costs are or what investors are actually spending. So we keep this super simple. Okay, so for example, the kitchen needs updates, the flooring needs work, paint throughout the entire house. Let's say there's some minor exterior that needs to be refreshed. So based on a general contractor estimate or typical benchmarks, we'll say, for example, for this example, repairs are $30,000. Now, if you're not familiar, investors also have other costs like closing costs, holding costs, insurance, utilities during repairs. So when I first got into real estate investing, I actually initially started with fix and flip, okay? I wish I knew a little bit more about the no flip method is what I call it, or wholesaling or assignments. And I automatically jumped to that next big step. It was a massive step, but I'm thankful throughout the entire process because I was able to learn quite a bit. But I personally know, because I've done so many flips now, it's been a decade. So, and I absolutely love renovating. I was obsessed with HGTV, obsessed with Fixer Upper, and that's just what I wanted. That was what I was funnel focused to. Now, Because of that knowledge, there's a lot of extra costs that I learned throughout the entire process of what an investor has to pay. So that's what we went over: the closing costs, holding costs, insurance, utilities during the repairs. Okay, so let's estimate the other cost being $10,000. Okay, so for cost to the investor before the profit is $40,000. So we're going to add another 10K here. Now, before we go on, don't forget to grab my free course after this video while it's still free. The link is in the description. Okay, so let's go on to box number 3. Now, this is the bottom left box that I like to put this information in. Now, this is the most important part of the entire analysis, the MAO, maximum allowable offer. This tells you the highest price you can pay the seller while still leaving room for repairs, buyer profit, your fee or your profits. We use the classic MAO formula. So the way the MAO formula works is ARV times 70% minus repairs minus your fee or your profit equals MAO. So let's plug in our numbers. We have 200,000 times 70. I'm going to put this up here for you. All right, so now that we have the ARV up here, can you see that? So 140 minus the 30 here, okay, equals 110. 110 minus 10,000. So your MAO, the highest you can offer the seller is 100,000. Okay, so let's say, for example, if the seller says they want 180,000, that's not a deal. Go to the next one. If you can get them around 95,000 to 100,000, now the numbers make sense. So we're going to put 100,000 here because that's your MAO. Does that make sense? So box number 3 is done. Now, box number 4, I like to put your wholesale profit. So the bottom right is the one, is the fun one, is the best one, okay? Because this is where people call it your profit, assignment fee. You know, there's different wordings for this, but we're just going to call it profit. So this is where you put the number that actually pays you. So let's say you negotiate with the seller and lock the property under contract for $95,000. You find a cash buyer who agrees to pay $105,000. That means that your assignment fee or your profit margin is $10,000, okay? All right, so the $10,000 is wired to you at closing by title. So right in there, in that section, so you have a contract for $95,000, right? We have the contract for $95,000 from the seller. And then the buyer is at $105,000. So you see the difference between these two? That's going to be your profit, okay? So now that you see, that completes all the 4 boxes here. So now a quick summary. Does that make sense, like visually how that looks like? I know it's not the prettiest writing, but it's kind of hard with the iPad. But your 4-box MAO method looks like this. All right, so we talked about the ARV, 200,000. The repairs and cost is 40,000. The MAO, 100,000, and your fee is $10,000. Done, simple, repeatable, beginner friendly. Now, this is the exact method that I teach my clients and my students, because once you understand MAO, you stop guessing and you start locking real deals. Now, here's the thing, and this is what I tell my sellers as well. When I'm giving them an offer, I'm not just guessing on this. This is based off of data and comps, real comps. So this is not something that I'm just going to throw out there. This is all based off of information that obviously is public too. And so what I do is when I'm walking a property and I'm giving them an offer, whether over the phone, online, if we're on a Zoom call, or in person, I would literally show them the comps that I'm going off of. And when I'm running my numbers here, I'm telling because of this address, and this address, this is why. And you can, if you want to break it down, and it depends on the person. Sometimes they want to know more information as to why you're offering this. If I know it's a really great opportunity for me, a really great investment, then I'll break it down. I don't mind because I have nothing to hide. I'm telling them this is the data that per their property, this is what we're looking at, so that they understand. And I tell them because of that. And if you want to walk them through that, great. Obviously, you don't want to share your profit amount. You don't want to share any of that because that's personal. But if you want to share and break them down as far as what their property on average, obviously based on the comps, based on the analysis in that area, this is what we're looking at. You don't have to go into detail about all this and all this and all this. Obviously, they're not going to know what MAO and ARV and all these things are, right? But you can break them down like this is how much a property is worth based on the data. This is what we're looking at. Now, looking at this, I really do hope this helps. Again, I'm a very visual learner. I like to see things. And so if this helps you, always come back. Make sure to save this video in your notes section, whatever the case may be. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, but I really want to make sure that you understand the process. Okay, it doesn't have to be hard. Again, we're looking at it with data in mind. Okay, so if you want to shortcut the learning curve and follow the exact steps to close your first deal, I want you to get my free course. The link is down below. Or if you're that person that is ready to jump in and get started and create this additional income stream, I want you to take a look at two of my courses that I have listed below. One is for beginners, and the second one is for someone who is more advanced or for someone who wants the entire blueprint, all the systems that I use, all the websites, all the resources, all the tools, spreadsheets, everything to really make this easy for you. I would highly recommend to go down and take a look. If you click on the link, you're going to see everything that it offers. It's quite a bit. This is everything that I wish I knew when I first started. This is all the things that I've learned through the past decade, guys. I got into this when I was 28 years old. I'm a former police officer, and when I had to leave my dream career to stay at home and take care of my daughter, it wasn't in the plans, but it was definitely a blessing in disguise because I would never been able to experience and build the success that I have if that didn't happen. Okay, so if you're in a place in your life, if you want to have, whether it's an additional income stream or if you're just not happy where you are and you need to make money and you really enjoy maybe the thought of real estate and you want to kind of test it out, this is a great strategy because you don't have to purchase, you don't have to do construction, you don't have to do any of that. And this is something that I do break down in the free course and how it really looks like, how the process works. Now, but if you want to implement the actual strategy, this is one of my two courses, my paid courses are below. Now, here's the thing. I know when I first heard like, oh, it's paid, I have to pay for something, it was a little cringy to me in the beginning when I first started. But man, fast forward, when I was like struggling, I was watching YouTube stuff, I was on podcasts, reading blogs and all the things. Again, this is 10 years ago. Okay. So there wasn't a lot of free information on YouTube, just whatever I can get, but it was all mixed up. I really didn't understand and it didn't make a lot of sense to me. And everything that I wanted to learn, it was all scattered. So I had to buy multiple different courses, hire multiple different people, but then sales, marketing, branding, social media, all the things to run an actual business. In my full blueprint advanced course, I do literally start you from entity creation all the way up to scaling and automating and delegating. Okay, so it's all in there because again, this is something I wish I first had from the beginning. So it's the exact same steps I used to build my business since 2016. It's the same steps my students and clients use, and I put together so that any beginner can do this, even with little money. Okay, and I also do have payment plans. I know that's something that's really big for people that are just starting. And again, the link is in the description, so I would highly recommend to grab it. Now, if this video helped you understand how to calculate numbers on a deal, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe for more content. This is a brand new YouTube channel. It'll help me so much in order to grow in this space. And I want to help as many people as possible. And I know it can be a little intimidating because I was first there, especially when you're starting from scratch. I started from zero. I started from nothing. I didn't come from money. I didn't know anything about business, but it's something I've learned throughout the entire way. I've had losses, I've had massive wins. I've learned so much throughout this entire process and also learning who I am as a person. And so I actually share real life scenarios, things that, people go through. I'm a mom, I'm in a committed relationship. I have a lot of things going on. So a lot of the content that's out there, which is great for people who maybe don't have kids, maybe that do have kids, but they're already grown, they no longer live in the house, or if you have someone at home that helps you with a lot of the responsibilities and allows you to focus fully on your business. But for someone like me who has a lot going on, we have 3 kids in our home. I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur. And so I always have a lot of different moving pieces. And so for someone who is like me, a lot of what I'm going to share with you is going to make a lot more sense because we have very limited time and limited energy. And what I like to teach my clients and my students is how to maximize that time and be strategic and still hit our goals and still go to where we want to be. Now, real estate doesn't have to be your entire business and that's all you're going to do. This can be the vehicle to your dream goal, whatever that may be, a dream business, but this can supplement and push that profit that you need to start up whatever your passion project may be. Okay. So, but this is just something that I absolutely am super passionate about. I really do think it's important that everybody invests in something. And I think real estate is something that is very tangible. People can see it, feel it, look at it, and it's built so much wealth in this world. If we really think about it, about over 90% of millionaires and billionaires, people who are wealthy, all invest in real estate. And why? Right? We got to think about that. And so I want to teach you as a beginner how to first get started. And if you choose to scale, if you fall in love with the business like I did. Now, when I was younger, I didn't think like, I'm going to be an investor. I'm going to, flip all these deals. Like that was something that was never in my mind because I was never taught it, especially coming from someone who didn't come from a lot of money. It's not something we talked over in the dinner table about investing. So this is something that was brand new to me, but I'm obsessed with, and it's a skill and it's a strategy that I can also pass down to my kids. This is another reason why I'm building a YouTube channel, because I want my children to learn from me and the generations behind us to be able to come on YouTube and watch videos from me, because I am the person that I do want to change my family tree. I do want to add generational wealth for my family. And so that is something that I'm very passionate about. So not only will I be helping my family, but I want to help you and your family too. Again, please turn on your notifications, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss my next real estate breakdown. Drop your questions in the comments. I love helping you understand this stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Again, my name is Bettina, and I will see you on the next video.